I've never really thought much about bees, and I'll have to confess that for most of my life I haven't liked them much because of the painful stings that I've received from them. But over the last year or so, I've really begun to appreciate them. I love watching them out here on my deck at this crepe myrtle. I'm hearing more and more about bees from family and friends who gather their honey, and I just finished a novel that I really enjoyed called The Secret Life of Bees. I guess as I've learned more and begun to understand them, I've appreciated these amazing creatures so much more. For the last couple of years, Lisa and I haven't put any products on our grass because we don't want to kill the bees or the other critters that are in our yard. So therefore our yard is filled with clover. And though my neighbors may not be thrilled, the bees love our crop of clover, and I'm beginning to watch out for them when I mow. If I see bees in my path, I'll stop and I'll let them move along. It takes a little longer to mow, but at least I don't feel like I'm committing bee genocide. Well, as I've begun to understand bees, I'm much more sympathetic to them, and I've grown to love them. And the more I know, the more I want to know. I feel like I've been on a similar journey in regards to racial issues lately. I've been reading more and watching some amazing documentaries. I'm seeing the world through different eyes. And I don't want to give the impression that I understand the complexities of race yet, but I'm further along now than when I got started. I've gone out of my way to establish relationships with black people that I barely knew before. I've read books and I've watched documentaries I never would have tackled 2 years ago. And I'm just about to start a discussion group with some friends from college. Well, at this stage in my spiritual journey, I feel like the Holy Spirit is leading me to become more aware of people whose lives are very different from mine. And I tell you, I'd be really interested to hear your stories about what God has brought to your attention over the last few months and who God has put into your life that is enriching it or giving you a new perspective. I never cease to be amazed how God can take any circumstance and bring good out of it. So maybe Paul was onto something when he wrote Romans 8:28, which says, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him and who have been called according to His purpose."